Fishing the Wild West TV with Wes David is brought to you by Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Adventure Destination International. Book your trip of a lifetime with Adventure Destination International in Thompson's Resort, along with Cam Clark Ford, the official vehicle of Fishing the Wild West TV.
Fishing the Wild West.
She's getting a little western on the deck. This week on Fishing the Wild West TV, it's one of my favorite episodes of the year, the year-end episode. Highlights, lowlights, and unseen footage from everything that happened during Season 5 Fishing the Wild West TV. Join us this week as we enjoy some hidden gems, walk into stocked lakes, 5 minutes and less off the road, all kinds of trout species, and even walleye and sauger. Just cast it up to this big boulder here. I'm out here, I'm guessing 20 feet of water, but it's casting up the shore and they're taking it when it comes off of shore. All right. There's the first splake of the day out here on some easy and accessible trout ponds. Gone. So we've drifted, unfortunately, we drifted right into where I caught them. So we're gonna sneak out and let them settle down and hopefully get some more. Usually where there's one, there's more. And on this particular lake, we're catching big rainbow trout. I don't know exactly how many rainbow trout are stocked in here, but each year they stock 1,000 or so, and they've been doing it for the last 15 years. So here we are, float tube, enjoying some trout action at walk into lakes. He's a good fish. I don't think he'll fit in my net. Yeah, this is a great fish. Oh, he fits all of that net. I'll show him to the camera. Like, that's a big, healthy fish. Get the hook out of him. How's that for the first rainbow trout of the day? Don't know what I got every time it comes up. All right, I got a sauger. I wanted to show him on camera. We were catching him off camera, and just simply a big sky jig. Big sky jig. I've got a stinger hook on it. Anyone who watches the show knows I love a stinger hook. Beautiful little sauger. There's not a lot of places you can catch them in the abundance that we're catching them here. They're not huge, but there's a lot of them. Got another one on. This is a ton of fun. I mean, we're catching lots of walleye, sauger, little pike, and none of them are big. But I don't know how often or when the last time was that I fished walleye out of my float tube. This is an incredible experience that we're surrounded and rarely take advantage of. Big sky jigs. Nice little walleye. He's mad. Man, that's a ton of fun. Get back in there. Well, whatever this is, I think she's going to be the last one of the evening. Northern pike, another little northern pike with that big sky jig in him. They're a lot of fun to catch. I know people call them slew sharks, hammer handles, but when you're spending all day in your float tube on a variety of different lakes, jigging walleye, sauger, sawguy, and northern pike with big sky jigs, they're a ton of fun.
This segment has been brought to you by Steel Shad Lures, any fish, any depth, any season, and Power Pole, total boat control. Closed captioning is brought to you by Buzz Bomb Tackle, iconic sonic fishing lures, made in North America for over 50 years.
Lake trout, three-way rigging. We're 75 feet of water. This is one of my favorite ways to catch lake trout. And another way you can experience the fishing here at Wilderness Family Outfitters. But Brendan, you got a lot of, fly fishermen can come here spring of the year, topwater pike or fly fish for pike.
Absolutely.
And what else they got?
Well, you can cast spoons for walleye. We've done some topwater fly fishing for trout in early July. You can jig for trout just like this, or
Three-way rig
swivel,
like this.
Yeah, three-way swivel just like this, or jig for them.
And we did some jigging yesterday, you seen on the footage. And there's lots of them now. And you control steel shads, Len Thompsons. We got a lucky plug. This is a good fish.
It's a nice fish.
We got a lucky plug on here from Lucky Bug Lures. And it's one of my favorite ways to pick up big lake trout. And we just got to watch these weights so I don't beat up Brendan. And we'll show this fish, hold it up for you and show you. But these lucky bugs, or lucky plugs, sorry, from Lucky Bug, they produce a lot of big fish. I'll show you what we're doing here. So here's what we got here, probably 10-pounder. We just got started. We got that lucky plug from Lucky Bug Lures in there, and that's one of my favorite lures to three-way rig for lake trout. We're gonna get him back in the water. Barbless hook, pops right out. Important to keep a tight line when you're fighting them. Look at the fin, he's flared right up, he's mad. 70 feet of water. Again, there's the lucky plug from Lucky Bug Lures. Then we got all the way down here to a three-way swivel. Got a little bit tangled up now. And I got 8 ounces of weight on the bottom. And basically, Brendan's just keeping the boat going fast enough so that basically I'm bottom bouncing just like it would for walleye, but for lake trout. And a lot of times, this is when you pick up your biggest lake trout.
This Gear Talk is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
What I'm doing here is three-way rigging. You've seen me three-way rig before. We showed you the three-way rig system, but I'm using a 7.5 foot rod, medium action rod. I got a 5500 Abu Garcia reel on here, line counting reel, and that's really important because Brendan's got us right now in 68, 70 feet of water, but I got 105 feet out due to line deflection. My weight's bouncing on the bottom. 50-pound braid down to 15-pound braid, which is tied to my lucky plug, and then same 15-pound braid down to the weight. And I do that so if my weights hang up and it's gonna break off, all I lose is my weights. Or if a fish bites me off or breaks me off, all I lose is my lure. So I don't lose the whole rig plus 100 feet of line. That's why I go a lot lighter at the bottom end. At 105 feet of line out, and bottom seems to be, bottom contact is important. I think this is the same size as the one we were jigging up yesterday. But
Yeah.
they're all fun to catch, and it's fun to do something different. You know they're gonna bite here when you book your trip with Wilderness Family Outfitters. So bring all your gear and fish a variety of ways. That was at 70 feet of water. 66? these weights so they don't hit you. Just lots of them. Keep these from hitting Brendan. Like I say, you're gonna get lots of opportunities. So even when you get here, and it happens to everybody, you get to a place like this and you're anxious to catch fish, and especially big fish, which you're gonna catch. If you lose one, don't get discouraged, because there's more right behind it. So just a great 3-4 pounder. We'll get him back in the water. 67 feet of water he came out of. And that's what he's going back to. That's the ticket. They're loving it. You can see the tooth marks on it. It's getting scarred up, it's getting hit lots, but she's still holding tight.
This segment has been brought to you by Hooked Magazine, hooked on fishing in the great outdoors, and Lucky Bug Lures. Get hooked on Lucky Bug Lures. Welcome back to Fishing the Wild West TV.
What we're doing is just, we're bottom bouncing until we see a group of them on the fish finders. We go through them with the bouncers. If we don't pick one up, we go back to them and send down our jigs, and just vertical jigging. Still, basically we're just letting it sit on the bottom. Leeches, minnows, and even the odd time, big bite baits are working. But we're catching a lot of different sizes. We're picking up some really big ones, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. We've caught them in 16 feet of water. This one here was caught, I was coming out of 30 feet of water, and they're just everywhere. They've been stirred up from the storms, and we just got to keep working and looking for them. We just moved, I don't know, 100 yards. Saw them on the graph, went through them, got nothing. Instead of keeping going, you don't want to leave fish to find fish. We just came back to them, set up, and vertical jig. Slow, methodical bite today, so we just basically put it down right in front of their face and let them take it when they're ready. But had we kept trolling, we would have trolled right past, right through these fish. And again, the old saying, why leave fish to find fish? It's another walleye, great walleye. And my jig wasn't down there 30 seconds. However, I bet you when I go back down, this might be the only bite I get in this area, and I'll have to move again. Another great walleye, fat, healthy. They're good. See them just, that's how light they're biting. Until I felt them actually inhale it, bite down on it, I had to just leave it or I would have missed them. He doesn't feel like a big one, but it's good. We found him again, another batch. I don't know, the big ones turned right off and these little guys are getting more aggressive. And which is good. It's, you know, a reservoir, like southern Alberta reservoirs are healthy with, you know, a wide variety of age groups, and that's a healthy water body. Not just the big ones, you want to catch the little ones too, because they're going to replace the big ones. There's another one here. This one, they quit biting on the Big Sky jig, so I flipped over to the Buzz Bomb. Buzz Bomb's one of my favorite when I jig deep water lake trout. They're heavy, they get down deep. So I thought I'll tie on a small, they come in a variety of sizes. So tied on a smaller one, and it's been producing, again, every we troll, we bottom bounce to each spot. If we don't pick anything up, we stop and jig them. And there's no rhyme or reason to what they're coming on. Look at that buzz bomb in there. We just have to keep working. They're making us work for every single bite. Trouble getting old, I can't see. There goes that buzz bomb. Another great walleye. We'll get him back in the water. There he goes. This one again's on the buzz bomb. Again, it's been a while between bites. We've had to keep moving and finding active fish. And even though we're talking post-storm for the last 2 days, it is extremely hot today. And just something we've had to deal with is finding fish all day. We've had to work for every single fish we've caught. And this is just a young fella. But every single fish we've caught, we've had to work for. And we haven't caught, I can't say there is a real pattern other than catch one or two, move to another spot till you find them on your graph, catch one or two, move again, and that's what we've done all afternoon. It's been a tough bite.
This segment has been brought to you by Lynn Thompson Lures, Canadian made for over 90 years, and Rock Guard, protect your investment. This segment is brought to you by Big Sky Flies and Jigs, tackle you can trust, and Tourism Saskatchewan. Start planning your visit today.
The last lake trout cooperated really well with me. Came to this side of the boat so the wind doesn't blow me on top of them. I hope this one helps me out too. And he's not even 100% sure he's hooked yet. There, perfect. Another nice lake trout. I wish you could feel the thump, and he's just holding on the bottom. Because we're only catching him out of 10, 15 feet of water. There's no harm. You're not bringing them up from the depths where they hurt themselves. He is working. Not quite. It's hard when you're netting them by yourself, but use your forearm to help leverage your rod. And then you can just, like I said, your rod is basically just an extension of your arm. The Carbon Light series, Bass Pro Carbon Light series, great rod for fighting these fish. There, he's in the net. Man, that's a heavy fish. They are healthy here, northern Saskatchewan. I'm just gonna get the pliers, get the hooks out of him. We'll put him back.
This conservation talk is brought to you by Brian Muir with IA Securities, aligning your financial future so you can spend more time outdoors.
So here's what I'm using here. Keep him in the water. Number 2, Len Thompson. This is the Super Glow series. Sharp Eco Claw hooks, which I pinch the barbs. Not because I have to, but because you're out here by yourself. You ever get a hook in your hand, you got a better chance getting it out without the barbs. So just kind of safety for me, and it's easier on the fish. Another beautiful lake trout. Still only 10 feet of water. Strong, solid. Solid as a rock. Again, this is, I started to explain earlier, this now is the second, of all the lake trout we've caught, this is the second, only the second, that we've caught trolling with the wind. Everything else has come against the wind. And I noticed that lots walleye fishing, that it's something to pay attention to, as I've caught a lot of fish, you know, going bottom bouncing or even jigging one way, but not the other. And for whatever reason, whether it be boat speed, moving your lure, how fast your lure is moving, it's just little things to pay attention to next time you're fishing, whether you're here at Adventure Destination International or on your home lake. This is a perfect size. If we were keeping fish to smoke and eat with Wild West seasoning, this would be a perfect one, perfect size for the smoker. And like I say, they're just as good. Lake trout on the smoker, in my opinion, is just as delicious as smoked salmon. So this would be a perfect eater for the smoker. Wild West seasonings would look delicious on this guy, but we're gonna put him back in the water and let him go right to the bottom. So we've got some weather coming in. We've only been here 4 hours. We flew in today. We got some weather coming in. We knew it was coming. So we're gonna head in for supper, call it an evening, hopefully come back tomorrow with some lake trout and sunny skies. I hope you enjoyed the year-end episode of Fish in the Wild West TV Season 5. We're off to do a little ice fishing now, but I hope you'll join us on the water for Season 6 of Fish in the Wild West TV. And join us on social media or through the pages of Hooked Magazine.
Follow us on social media or at fishingthewildwesttv.com.